Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Dark Powerrr, where we talk about everything that happens on AEW Dark, AEW Elevation, and of course, NWA Powerrr. Now, I want to give a quick shout out to my girlfriend because this past Saturday was my birthday, and I got this amazing Death Triangle shirt that I have been looking at and thinking about, and I'm like, oh, I really like the shirt, I like the logo, I like Death Triangle. So getting the shirt was a big coup for me, so I appreciate my girlfriend giving me this for my birthday, and I appreciate everything that she does for me all the time. So Kylan, thank you very much. But she also is interested in seeing what's going to be happening when it comes to Double or Nothing, because we watch AEW Dynamite together. And that's part of the reason why I enjoy reviewing Dark and Elevation, because I get to tell her things that she would not otherwise be able to know, because she herself does not get a chance to watch Dark or Elevation. So let's get straight into it. But right before we do, guys, remember to hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate everything that you guys do for us because it allows us to do what we do for you. And we are moving above. We are at 1,200 subscribers and steadily climbing. So let's talk about Elevation first. So Elevation and Dark, they're chock full of promos. This is promo mania running wild, and I kind of like it because you get a lot more depth of character. You get to understand more about what are the goals, or what different people want, what pushes them, what drives them, what ticks, all of that stuff. And we get a lot of that in Elevation and on Dark this week, and I like that they are doing this. I hope that they continue to do more when it comes to these promo work. And because it gives people a chance to learn what's going to work in front of an audience, and that's the real key. When I was on the review for the Nick Gage Dark Side of the Ring, one of the key takeaways that Moxley was saying was that Vince McMahon would kill to have one Nick Gage because of the way that Nick Gage connects with an audience. And that's incredible. That connection, that is incredible. And that's what everybody's always trying to build. Somebody who builds some kind of connection with an audience is Dustin Rhodes. And he has a match here against Aaron Solow. And it's a pretty good match. One of the things that stuck out to me, I liked it because we see more of this build between factory and family. And I want to see where they go with this bull rope, because they introduce a bull rope during the match. It's being brought into the ring. If I remember, it was being brought into the ring by Nick Comoroto, and I think that we're going to be getting some kind of bull rope match with Dustin and Comoroto at Double or Nothing. That would be the smart play to me. You give Nick Comoroto a win, and you give the factory a win over the family. That's always important in this feud. Speaking of promos, really good Lance and Jake promo where Lance is saying that he's going to be coming after Miro and the TNT title. Good promo here. We're going to see more of Lance on Dark with another promo. But before that, we have to see Lance versus Bear Bronson. And this is a really good match. This is a nice little Haas fight between them. You're wondering whether or not Lance can get Bear Bronson up for the blackout. He is able to do it to put Bronson away. Good match here. Jake on commentary, as always, really great. But speaking of promos, one of the things that's awesome about Elevation is the ability to do the showcases. And that here we have this week Ryan Nemeth doing his showcase with Paul White. And a really good interview where we get to learn more about Ryan Nemeth, see kind of what his goals are. I actually learned a lot about this showcase. I thought like the Hollywood hunk character or gimmick, whatever you want to call it, was more of a play off of Dolph, his brother, Dolph Ziggler. I thought that's what that was. I didn't realize he has actually a pretty decent IMDb credits of appearances on shows, and they showed some of the footage from that, whether it's I think it was Jimmy Kimmel, whether it was TV movies, whether it was TV episodes, things like that. So he is slowly building his we'll say backlist or catalog of content for people to watch for him, and it makes sense to plug that in with the Hollywood hunk character. So well done there as well. Another thing that I liked was the Ali versus Kylan King match. I like this because we saw more from Ali, and we see the Hardy family office cheat, fine, okay, but maybe we'll see Kylan King team up with the Dark Order. That might be an interesting twist on the tail because of the issues between Hardy family office and Dark Order. I know that Dark Order has what's her name? They have Ty Conti, but still at the same time, it can't hurt, especially if they're going to be doing other things with Ty Conti. Then let's see what we can do with Allie and Kylan King, particularly because Ty Conti's already faced Allie. So next we have a good promo here with Ethan's Page and Scorpio Sky talking about their win that they had a few matches earlier on Elevation. Good promo here, but no other promo is going to shine as much as Anthony Ogogo's promo on Elevation. But right before I talk about that, just going to do a quick little mention that there is a moment there where backstage Chris Statlander is going to be interviewed. Britt Baker comes in to interrupt her, and then Sheeta comes in with her trusty kendo stick and gets them away from Statlander. But now let's talk about this Ogogo promo. This was very well done. I hope that they air this promo on Dynamite because it's very well done. Ogogo speaks well, which you need to be able to do as a boxer. He has a presence about him, and in a way he's right, because the promo that Cody cut on Dynamite, while it was good, it did go long. It was a little overbearing, like a little kind of virtuous, like look at me, I'm a great guy. But Ogogo knew or used the key ways of dissecting that promo and bringing it down. And what he talks about, I'm not trying to get super political on this show, but they are real issues that confront many Americans. We do have in big cities a homeless problem. We have that here in Chicago. We do have healthcare issues. We have that around the country. We do have a kind of lack of compassion for our fellow human being. That can be problematic. So Ogogo is pointing out that while Cody is saying all of these great things about America, yeah, it's a great country, there's awesome discourse, and so on and so forth, there are still a lot of problems. And Ogogo isn't really trying to make this into a UK versus USA thing, but it seems as though Cody is trying to do that. And if that's what Cody wants to do, fine, he can talk about those issues. He's much more interested in talking about how he's going to beat Cody Rhodes, because beating Cody Rhodes is a big deal. And I say that as somebody who served in our military. I enjoyed this promo greatly, because Cody is right that we do need to be able to have this kind of discourse. Cody is right in to say that. And to have Ogogo correctly point out some of the flaws, well done. But let's talk about AEW Dark. AEW Dark, I highlighted some matches, right? I'll talk about those really quickly, and then I'll just talk about the promos, because Promo Mania, running wild. We have a Lee Johnson versus Fuego del Sol match, really nice. I like to see Lee Johnson continuing to develop, continuing to grow into his character, his in-ring work. He has a great dance partner in Fuego del Sol. Good match. I like to see the Angelico versus Barry Morales match. That was kind of a flashy match, the athletic match that you want to kind of have from time to time on Dark or on Elevation. And the main event of Brian Pillman Jr. versus Luther, particularly because of that Brian Pillman Dark Side of the Ring two-parter, incredible work. Again, push Brian Pillman. But now, let's talk about these promos. So Matt Hardy has a nice little promo from the Hardy Family compound, continuing to put over Hardy Family versus Dark Order. I'm interested to see how they're going to continue to build this, particularly because they're talking about how we are going to get members of the Hardy Family office and the Dark Order within the Casino Battle Royale. That I want to see. I want to see them in that match. I want to see because plotting a Battle Royale can be tricky because of when you need to do like little storylines within the match. It can't just be chaos. There needs to be some kind of story within the match, and that's where individual feuds and individual problems that people have with each other come into play. This will provide a nice kind of sub-storyline within the Battle Royale. There is a phenomenal Lance Archer promo. If you definitely check this promo out, where he is talking again about going after Miro, and they've got the swinging light bulb echoing Brody Lee when he was Luke Harper. Very well done. And just the way that he ends the promo with, saying that, you were the man who was unafraid to kill, and you beat the man who was unafraid to die. And he's saying that Miro thinks that he can't die either. That Miro thinks that he can kill anybody, but everybody does die. And everybody's going to die at the hands of Lance Archer. And just the way he backs away from the camera and the microphone, and just everybody dies. Everybody dies. Everybody dies. Very well done. I liked it a lot. So let's talk now about the Acclaimed promo. That was well done ahead of their match against Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston on Dynamite. And that, they're really good at that music video stuff. Which leads us to the Jungle Boy promo. And this was very, very well done. The Jungle Boy promo talks about how, last year he was in the Battle Royale, but he wasn't ready. He didn't feel as though he was ready. He's now had another year to prepare, not for the Battle Royale, but to prepare himself, prepare his mind, soul, body, all that fun stuff, to be the world champion. And he thinks he's ready. He thinks he's ready now to win the Battle Royale and chase Kenny. And I know that they have said that, I think it was Tony who said he wanted to have a big win for Jungle Boy to cement him as one of the faces of the future at a show that had full capacity, that had fans. And we do know that Double or Nothing is going to have full capacity at Daly's Place. It's only 5,500 people, I think, but that's still full capacity. Now, I don't want to put on my fantasy bookers hat, but I think if I had to pick, Jungle Boy is my favorite to win the match. I think that they can give him that win, cement him as one of the faces of the future. They can have him be the kind of summer feud for Kenny. He's going to chase after Kenny before they transition to Kenny versus Christian for All Out. I think that would really benefit the company. I think it would be good for Jungle Boy, good for Kenny, good for the title. I'm hoping that that's what happens, but we'll have to see exactly how all of that shakes out. But let's turn towards NWA Powerrr. So this week's episode of Powerrr was a lot better, actually, than last week's Powerrr. That one was kind of a mess and all over the place. So this one starts out with, I forget his name, Jackson or something like that, reading an announcement from Billy Corgan that due to their actions, Strictly Business has been stripped of their title opportunity at the tag titles. And if next week Aldis and Adonis do not show up, they will be stripped of their titles and their contracts will be removed. They'll be fired, basically. He also says that Camille needs to also be present, or she could jeopardize her title contendership with Serena Deeb. Okay. Nothing crazy, but it at least clues us into more information about last week and why it felt so jarring. It was supposed to be jarring, even though it does make better some of the things that happened last week. So kudos to them for either planning it out properly and me just not giving enough time, or I think that's what had to happen because they do TV tapings. So maybe it's a reminder that sometimes we need to give storylines a little bit more time to play out and see how exactly they're going to do things. It is jarring because it still doesn't make sense in some regard, because in the past they have made changes to the card and to the announcements based off of things that Aldis has said. So why they didn't do it this time and they wanted to go the route of we're going to punish Nick if he doesn't do XYZ, I don't know. But either way, we have Pope versus Matt Cross in a TV title defense. A nice little TV title match here. Nothing to laugh at between the two of them. Matt Cross is still a pretty good talent, and Pope is carrying a lot of these matches that he's in. So good TV title match here. He retains. We have a match between our tag champs and Marche Rocket and Fred Rosser. I was going to say Fred Rocket. And then I started thinking of Fuddruckers. I don't know if any of you guys had Fuddruckers, but that was like a little chain where I was growing up in South Florida. But anyway, I digress. That was a pretty good match. I like the story that was being told here. They're continuing to show problems between Kratos and Aaron Stevens. There's moments in the match where Aaron Stevens doesn't want to tag himself in because he's just like, you got to deal with this, man. Like I'm starting to get over. I'm starting to get done with your bullshit, and you got to figure some shit out. But they are able to pick up the win, and we also know that we're going to get in our main event a match between The End, Odinson and Perro, and the War Kings, Jax Dane and Crimson, to see who is now going to be the new #1 contender for the tag titles. Now, interesting to see there. I like the weird kind of transition of Jax Dane and Crimson to being faces, because they originally were more heelish when they first came back to NWA, but then the whole Slice Boogie thing happened with Jax Dane. I'm wondering if they are going to maybe I'm giving things away. Let's continue on with the show. We have Taran, Terrell, and Molina doing a promo battle. This promo battle really was unnecessary. We already know what we need to know for Rosa and Camille, and there's not really that much that these two in particular can do to build up the story more. We got it, so why bother? But I mean, if it's a thing to fill TV time, I guess sure, do it. But there were other things they could have done instead. We have Thunder Rosa versus Genocide. It's a pretty good match. I like the story reason. So let's compare and contrast. So with Taran, Terrell, and Molina, the promo battle really does absolutely fucking nothing for the feud. I'll be honest here. Versus Rosa versus Genocide, and commentary notes that the reason why Rosa is interested in having this match against Genocide is because Genocide is of a similar body type and build to Camille. So if she can put down Genocide, she's more confident in thinking that she can put down Camille. That makes so much sense and works for the actual story. It helps to enhance the story of Rosa versus Camille. I now want to see whether or not Rosa can take down Genocide, which she does, but I'm interested more in the match, and I learn more about what is going through Rosa's mind as she prepares for this showdown with Camille. So that is way better, way more productive than having Taran, Terrell, and Molina just basically kind of yell at each other. We have a interview with Tyrus and Austin Idol, which I kind of liked. We saw a little bit of a transition from... We've been seeing this transition kind of Tyrus into more of a tweener role, I would suppose. But it could always just be something that they're pulling over our eyes because, of course, we know that he is being managed by Austin Idol. And there's still some heelish aspects of his character. So, whatever. But he makes Idol on his behalf makes the announcement that Tyrus is the #1 entrant into this Battle Royale to determine who will be facing Nick Aldis for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. He also names some other names. He has a sheet of paper with him. So there's Fred Rosser, Mims, Jeremiah Plunkett, Marsh Rocket, Matt Cross, Chris. Best of luck to you, Chris. Slice Boogie. And some guy, I couldn't catch the name properly, but it was like Tiki Bar Blonde or something like that. I don't know what the story is there precisely, but I'm sure we'll get more information about it. But one thing is that they said it was going to be a 14-man Battle Royale. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plus Tyrus is 8, which means we need 6 more people. Now we know that we're going to get Latimer. That's what? 9. We know, well, we don't know, because they said champions can't appear, so Adonis should not be able to be in that. So that's 9. We know we're going to get Trevor Murdoch, so that's 10. So I'm wondering who those final 4 entrants are going to be. We'll have to see. But we will not need to worry that much longer about determining who is the #1 contender for the NWA Tag Team Championships, because the End and War Kings have a pretty good match. This was a nice, just kind of drag out 2 Hoss teams, big guys, 4 big guys, fight each other. And in the end, there's some controversy here because Crimson, so Jax Dane hits a suplex onto Odin's son. Crimson's on the top rope in the other corner, jumps off with an elbow, goes to pin Odin's son. 1, 2. Odinson clearly pops his shoulder up. Like, it's clear as day, he pops his shoulder up, and the ref is actually on eye level with it as it's happening, and he's still coming down for 3, and he just goes, boop, 3, and Galley and Velvet Sky are like, oh, he kicked out. Then the ref goes, ring the bell, and they're like, wait, what? And they show replay, and it's obvious that dude kicked out. So they're like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on? And the episode kind of ends on a weird note. Like, they didn't... The Odinson and Pero, despite the fact that they clearly were cheated out of a win, aren't mad. Like, they're mad, but they're not willing to do anything about it. At least at this point in time. So, whatever. But War Kings are able to celebrate with their win. They are now the #1 contenders to the NWA Tag Team Championship. We're going to see how all of this continues to work when it comes to NWA Powerrr. So, guys, I appreciate you spending your time with me. You can also catch me on Fusion of Honor with my guy, the three-time baby-making champ, Ness, where we cover everything that happens on MLW Fusion and Ring of Honor. Until next time, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. We will see everything that's going to happen on Double or Nothing and When the Shadows Fall. I'm starting to slowly look forward to this NWA show. I mean, they're building towards it, especially because we know that we're going to get Camille versus Thunder Rosa. We were supposed to get it this week. We're going to get it next week now because of everything that happened with Strictly Business. But I think they're going to keep punting it until we get to the pay-per-view because that is a pay-per-view quality match. That's what we saw for Back for the Attack. So maybe they do it, and maybe they do it next week, and Serena Deeb is coming back at the pay-per-view, and we'll see Camille versus Serena Deeb. We are going to see Serena Deeb defending the title against, who is it? I think it's, oh gosh, why is this escaping me now at the moment? Oh, Red Velvet. Actually, yeah, because that's part of the promo that happens during the AEW Dark. So, guys, until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other,